Have you ever had this scary thought? I'm doing everything right, so why do I still feel behind? Like you're running a full-speed life, work, bills, family, health, and somehow you're still losing ground. Here's the shock. Most people don't burn out from doing too little. They burn out from building a life that isn't actually theirs. In the next few minutes, I'll show you a Stoic path to becoming your best self, without hype, without manifesting, and without pretending your stress is your fault. And stay to the end, because I'm going to share the one mistake almost everyone makes when they try to improve themselves, and it quietly keeps them stuck. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is for people who want real strength, calm, grounded, practical strength, especially in a world that keeps trying to pull you into panic. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless, it's about being unshakable on the inside, even when life gets loud on the outside. Today we're talking about one thing: how to become your best self, starting now, by living with more control, more integrity, and less self-betrayal. We'll move through 3 big ideas. 1. Why you feel like you're not enough, even when you're trying. 2. The Stoic skill that instantly reduces stress, the control split. 3. How to rebuild your identity through daily actions, so your confidence is real, not a performance. Let's go. Part 1. The life you built might not be your life. A lot of your pain isn't because you're weak, it's because you're living in a character you created to survive. Think about the last time you said yes when your whole body wanted to say no. Maybe it was at work. Your boss dropped something on you at 4:45 p.m. and you smile like it's fine. Maybe it was at home. You're exhausted, but you still agree to be the strong one who never needs anything. Maybe it was online. You scroll past other people's vacations, promotions, perfect bodies, perfect families, and you feel this quiet shame, like you missed a lesson everyone else learned. Here's what's brutal. You can succeed in a life that doesn't fit you. You can get the job, the relationship, the reputation, and still feel like you're disappearing. You know that feeling? When you're alone in the car, the music is off, and the silence feels heavy. Not because you're sad, because you don't even know what you actually want anymore. The Stoics would say, stop outsourcing your identity. Freedom begins when you stop letting outside things rule your inner world. Modern version. You don't need permission to change. You need honesty. So here's your first Stoic move. Name where you've been abandoning yourself. Not with drama, just facts. Where are you performing instead of living? Where are you chasing approval instead of respect? Where are you tolerating what you'd never advise your own child to tolerate? Write down one sentence. The version of me I've been living as is, ah. The version of me I'm becoming is, ah. That's not motivation. That's a contract. Part 2. The control split. The simplest way to stop feeling crushed. Stress is often a control problem, not a time problem. You feel overwhelmed because you keep trying to control what was never yours to control. Let me give you a real scene. It's Monday morning. You wake up already late. Your phone has 3 missed messages from work. Your kid's school email says there's a special project due today that nobody told you about. And while you're trying to find matching socks, you remember, you have that meeting with the person who always talks over you. So your body goes into alert mode, chest tight, jaw clenched, brain spinning, and you're not even out the door yet. Now here's the hidden problem. Your mind tries to control everything at once. You want the meeting to go perfectly. You want your boss to like you. You want traffic to cooperate. You want your partner to understand your mood. You want your kid to be okay. You want the future to stop being uncertain. That's not ambition. That's a nervous system under siege. Stoicism gives you one clean tool, the dichotomy of control. 2 buckets. Bucket A, what you control, your choices, your effort, your words, your boundaries, your attention, your values. Bucket B, what you don't control, other people's moods, the past, the economy, the algorithm, traffic, the outcome. And the moment you stop mixing the buckets, your stress drops. Here's a practical drill you can do in 30 seconds. When you feel yourself spiraling, ask, what is mine to handle right now? Not tomorrow, not next month. Right now. You can't control if the meeting goes your way, but you can control showing up prepared, calm, and direct. You can't control if your partner reads your mind, but you can control communicating without snapping. You can't control the economy, but you can control your skill building and your spending plan. This is the Stoic way of getting your power back without pretending life is fair. Part 3. A quick story. The email you can't stop replaying. Your mind replays conflict because it thinks replaying equals protection. But replaying is just reliving. Maybe you know this one. You get an email or a message that feels disrespectful, not openly rude, just enough to make you feel small. So you read it once, then again, then you start drafting replies in your head. In the shower, you rehearse the perfect sentence. Driving, you imagine the confrontation. At night, you replay it like a movie you can't pause. And the worst part? The other person is probably eating dinner, totally fine, but you're the one paying for it, mentally, physically, emotionally. Here's the Stoic move. Return to the present before you return the message. Ask, is this within my control? You can't control their tone, but you can control your response, your timing, and your standard. 2 practical steps. 1. Delay your response by 30 minutes when you're heated, not to be passive, to be precise. 2. Write your reply in 2 versions. O version A, the emotional one, for you. O version B, the clean one, for real life. Then send version B and delete version A. That's Stoicism in action. You honor your emotions without letting them drive the car. Part 4. Most people don't want freedom, they want comfort. Becoming your best self requires giving up the addiction to comfort. Not because comfort is evil, but because comfort can quietly become a cage. Let's be honest, a lot of us are tired. And when you're tired, comfort feels like salvation. So you reach for quick relief. Doom scrolling after work because your brain can't turn off. A drink because it softens the edge. Food because it's the easiest yes all day. Shopping because it creates a moment of control. Avoiding hard conversations because you don't have the energy. And none of this makes you a bad person. It makes you human. But here's the cost. Comfort feels good now and expensive later. Stoicism doesn't ask you to suffer for fun. It asks you to choose discomfort on purpose, so life can't force it on you later. So here's the Stoic question. What discomfort am I avoiding that is quietly growing interest? Pick one. The hard talk with your partner, the doctor appointment you keep postponing, the financial plan you keep ignoring, the boundary you won't set with your boss or your family. Don't make it dramatic. Make it doable. The best self is built through small, unsexy decisions you keep making when nobody's clapping. Part 5. The comfort trap in the real world. Comfort isn't the enemy. Unconscious comfort is. Comfort is sitting on the couch after a long day. That's human. The trap is when comfort becomes your identity. You tell yourself, I'm just too busy. I'm just too tired. Life is crazy right now. And maybe it is. But then months pass. Your body feels heavier. Your patience is shorter. Your confidence drops. And you don't even know when it started. For a lot of people, the crash doesn't happen on a dramatic day. It happens slowly because nothing changes. Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, not to punish yourself, to remind yourself you're capable. Try one of these for 7 days. A 10-minute walk with no phone. A cold rinse at the end of a shower for 30 seconds. One meal where you eat slowly without screens. One no complaining hour a day. It sounds small, but it rewires something deep. It tells your brain, I can handle discomfort. And when your brain believes that, your life opens up. Part 6. Your setbacks weren't wasted time. Failure isn't proof you can't win. It's proof you've been training. If you're 35 to 45, you've probably lived through at least one season where life hit you hard. Maybe you were laid off. Maybe a relationship ended and it embarrassed you. Maybe you watched someone you trusted change into someone you don't recognize. Maybe you had to rebuild from zero and nobody cared. And you might still carry a private story. I should have known better. I wasted years. I fell behind. The Stoics believed obstacles are not detours, they are the path. What broke you wasn't the event. It was the meaning you attached to it. Try this reframe. That setback didn't ruin you. It revealed you. It showed you what you tolerate, what you value, what you still need to learn. Practical exercise. Finish this sentence. That season taught me. Then, because of that season, I am now capable of This isn't positive thinking. This is ownership, and ownership is what turns pain into power.
Part 7. A marriage moment. When you're both tired, your best self shows up most clearly in the moments you want to justify your worst self. Picture a typical night. You've been responsible all day. Work stress, traffic, kids, chores. You finally sit down, and your partner says something small that lands wrong. A comment about money, or your tone, or you've been distant, and immediately you feel it. The heat, the defensiveness, the urge to win the argument so you can feel safe again. But here's what most people don't admit. A lot of fights aren't about the topic. They're about two nervous systems that feel unseen. Stoicism offers a tool. Choose your role before you choose your words. Ask, who do I want to be in this moment? Not, what do I want to say? Who? Then do one concrete thing. Lower your voice. Not because you're weak, because you're in control. Say one sentence that creates safety. Help me understand what you mean. Or, I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to fight. Can we reset? That one move is courage. It takes strength to calm a room when you could inflame it. Part 8. Virtue, the missing piece in modern self-improvement. Most self-improvement is obsessed with results. Stoicism is obsessed with character. Modern culture tells you to fix your life by upgrading the outside. More money, better body, higher status, better aesthetics, more followers. And sure, some of that matters. But you already know the truth. You can look successful and still feel unstable, because the outside can't compensate for the inside. Stoicism focuses on 4 virtues, translated into real-life actions. 1. Wisdom equals pause before you react. Pain. You keep saying things you regret when stressed. Solution. The 3-second rule. Breathe once and count to 3 before responding. 2. Courage equals do the hard thing you've been avoiding. Pain. You keep negotiating with yourself. Next week. Solution. 1 brave action per day. 1 rep. 3. Justice equals integrity, especially when you're disappointed. Pain. You feel used, so you explode or shrink. Solution. Boundaries without cruelty. I'm not available for that. / please don't speak to me that way. 4. Temperance equals stop feeding the impulse, stealing your future. Pain. Your habits run you. Solution. Remove 1 trigger, not be perfect. Stoicism becomes real when it becomes practice, not quotes. Part 9. Respect is built in private. The fastest way to lose yourself is to chase respect from people who don't live with your consequences. This is big right now. Performative success. People grinding to look hungry while health collapses. People acting like they're fine while they're quietly drowning. And if you're a responsible adult, you've felt that pressure to be the provider, the stable one, the one who never looks uncertain. But chasing an image is exhausting because images are never satisfied. Stoicism flips the scoreboard. Instead of asking, do they respect me? Ask, do I respect me? Private respect checklist. Did I keep 1 promise I made to myself today? Did I avoid 1 impulsive choice I'd regret? Did I speak honestly without cruelty? Did I do something my future self will thank me for? Stack enough days like that, and your confidence becomes real, and real confidence doesn't beg. Part 10. The best self is not a mood, it's a routine. You don't become your best self by feeling ready. You become your best self by showing up consistently. A lot of people wait for motivation. When I feel confident, then I'll act. But you and I both know how that goes. You'll never feel your way into a new life, especially when you're tired and carrying responsibilities. Here's a Stoic routine you can actually keep. 10 minutes a day. Morning, 2 minutes. What's likely to challenge me today? Then decide your response before it happens. Midday, 1 minute. What am I giving my attention to right now? If it's not serving you, redirect. Evening, 7 minutes. What did I do well today? Where did I react instead of choose? What's one correction tomorrow? No guilt, no self-hate, just improvement. Part 11. The middle of the day reset for people who don't have time. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You need a reliable reset. Online, self-control looks like a calm life. 5 a.m., journaling, cold plunge, smoothie bowls. Most people don't live like that. Most of us are putting out fires. So how do you practice Stoicism in the middle of the mess? A 60-second reset. Feet on the floor. One slow breath. Relax your jaw. Ask, what is the next right action? That's it. The next right action might be drink water, send one email, apologize, stop scrolling, take a walk, step outside for air. Stoicism is a decision-making system. This is how you stay steady in real life. Part 12. The moment you change, people will test you. When you grow, the world doesn't always applaud. Sometimes it pushes back. You start setting boundaries. You stop over-explaining. You stop being available for everything. And someone says, you've changed. Sometimes like an insult, because the old version of you was convenient. If you're not careful, you shrink back to keep the peace. Stoicism teaches this. Your job is not to be easy to handle. Your job is to be honorable. Keep this line in your pocket. I'm not trying to be liked. I'm trying to be respected by myself. If someone is upset because you have boundaries, that's not always a sign you're wrong. Sometimes it's a sign you're finally protecting something. Part 13. When your friends don't get it, growth can make you lonely for a minute, until you find your real people. Sometimes the pushback isn't from enemies, it's from people you love. You stop drinking as much and your friends tease you. You start saying, I can't, and someone calls you boring. You stop gossiping and people act like you're judging them. It can mess with your head. Protect the part of you that's trying to evolve. 2 moves. 1. Don't announce your change. Demonstrate it. 2. Spend more time with people who support your values, not just your habits. You're not better. You're building a life you can live with. Part 14. The open loop. The mistake that keeps people stuck. Remember what I promised at the beginning. The mistake almost everyone makes when they try to improve themselves. Here it is. They try to become their best self while still negotiating with their worst habits. They want confidence, but they feed the addiction to approval. They want peace, but they rehearse old arguments in their head. They want discipline, but they keep making deals with discomfort. Just this once, tomorrow, after things calm down. Stoicism doesn't demand perfection, but it does demand honesty. So here's the pivot. Stop negotiating with what you already know is hurting you. Pick one habit that drains your life and reduce it by 10% this week. Not 100%, just 10%. Small reductions create space. Space creates clarity. Clarity creates change. Part 15. What best self actually looks like. Your best self is not someone who never struggles. It's someone who stays aligned while struggling. Real life still happens. Kids get sick, bills show up, mood drops, someone disappoints you. You don't become your best self by avoiding life. You become your best self by meeting life with steadiness. Measure progress differently. Do you recover faster after stress? Do you speak with more clarity? Do you keep promises to yourself more often? Do you need less validation to feel okay? Do you feel more self-respect in quiet moments? That's growth. That's real. That's Stoic. Part 16. A final picture of the best self. Your best self is the one who can be proud in silence. Imagine it's a year from now. Same world, same chaos. But you're different. Your phone buzzes and you don't instantly react. Someone disagrees with you and you don't take it personally. You have a bad day and you don't punish yourself with old habits. You get criticized and you don't collapse. You take feedback, keep your dignity, and move on. That's not confidence. That's stability. And it comes from one simple decision you make over and over. I will not abandon myself today. Not forever. Today. If you can do that, especially on the hard days, you're already on the Stoic path. Bring it home, 1. You're not broken. You're tired of living in a role. 2. The control split gives you your power back. Focus on what's yours. 3. Your setbacks were training, not failure. 4. Virtue is the foundation. Wisdom, courage, justice, self-control. 5. Your best self is built through small daily practices, not moods. 6. When you change, expect resistance. Hold your line. 7. Stop negotiating with what you already know is draining you. If this hits you in a real place, take one action today. Write down one boundary you need, or one habit you'll reduce by 10%, or one brave thing you'll finally do. And if you want more videos like this, practical stoicism for real modern life, like the video, subscribe and stick around. You're not behind, you're rebuilding, and that's a different kind of strength. Question for you. What's the biggest thing you've been trying to control that you need to let go of? Drop it in the comments. I read them, and you're probably helping someone else feel less alone.